The Man Who Lost His Axe. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by lush forests and flowing rivers, there lived a woodcutter named Han. Han was a hardworking man, known throughout the village for his skill in cutting the finest timber. He was a simple man, but his life revolved around his trusty axe, which had been passed down through generations. This axe was not just a tool for Han. It was his livelihood and a cherished family heirloom. One crisp autumn morning, Han woke up early to start his day's work. He gathered his belongings and set off into the forest, the morning mist still lingering in the air. As he reached his usual spot, he placed his axe on the ground and began to prepare for a day of chopping wood. After a few minutes of preparation, he turned around to pick up his axe, but to his shock, it was gone. He searched frantically, looking behind trees and under bushes, but there was no trace of it. Han's heart sank. He couldn't understand how his axe could have disappeared so suddenly. Panic began to set in, and his mind raced with thoughts of what could have happened. He remembered seeing his neighbor's son, a young boy named Lee, near the forest that morning. Suspicion quickly took hold of Han's thoughts. "That boy must have taken my axe," he muttered to himself. As Han walked back to the village, he couldn't help but notice everything about Lee seemed suspicious. The way he walked, the way he talked, even the way he glanced at Han. Han's mind was filled with doubt and anger. He convinced himself that Lee had stolen his precious axe. That evening, Han approached Lee with a stern expression. "Lee, did you take my axe?" he demanded. Lee, surprised and confused, shook his head vigorously. "No, Han, I didn't take your axe. I haven't even been near the forest today." But Han was not convinced. He spent the entire night tossing and turning, unable to shake off the suspicion. The next morning, Han decided to search the forest one more time. As he walked through the trees, he tried to calm his racing mind. "I must find my axe," he repeated to himself. As he reached his usual spot again, something caught his eye. There, in a small crevice between two rocks, lay his axe. Han's face flushed with relief and embarrassment. His axe had been there all along, hidden from sight by a mere accident. Han picked it up, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. But as he walked back to the village, he couldn't help but reflect on his behavior. He had allowed suspicion and anger to cloud his judgment, accusing an innocent boy without any evidence. Han realized that his thoughts had been tainted by doubt, leading him to see guilt where there was none. He had allowed his own fears to distort his perception of reality. With a heavy heart, Han approached Lee's house. The young boy was outside, playing with his friends. Han called him over and knelt down to his level. "Lee, I owe you an apology. I found my axe, and I realize now that I was wrong to accuse you. I'm sorry for doubting you." Lee smiled, relieved to see the genuine remorse in Han's eyes. "It's okay, Han. I'm just glad you found your axe." From that day forward, Han made a conscious effort to change. He learned to question his assumptions and to approach situations with a clear and open mind. He understood that suspicion and doubt could easily cloud one's judgment and lead to unnecessary conflict. The story of Han and the lost axe spread through the village, becoming a lesson for everyone. The villagers learned the importance of seeking the truth before making accusations and the value of maintaining trust within the community. Han continued to work as a woodcutter, but with a newfound wisdom. He became known not just for his skill with an axe, but also for his fairness and humility. He taught others the importance of looking beyond appearances and giving people the benefit of the doubt. And so, the tale of the man who lost his axe became a timeless reminder of the power of trust and the dangers of suspicion. It inspired many to seek understanding and to approach life's challenges with a clear mind and an open heart.